Welcome to Introduction to Marketing course. I am your trainer, and in this lesson 12 we are at mini trifecta. We have spoken about testing, we have spoken about tracking, and now we talk about measuring your marketing. So why must you always measure all of your marketing? Because according to Peter Drucker, you are looking for areas you can improve. The great man was famous for saying, if you can't measure it, you cannot improve it. And this business teacher and entrepreneur, Keith Cunningham, who among other clients he has is a Tony Robbins Business Mastery course, says it a little bit more directly. He says, people that don't want to measure do not want to be held accountable. So really what we're trying to do is we're trying to measure in order to have the information we need to find out whether the marketing we're doing is part of that 80% that does not work, or whether we are well on our way to finding that oil, that crucial opportunity where everything clicks and we make really great things happen. So with that in mind, measuring is critical. I love this saying from Jason Demers. He's a social media marketing strategist. He has his own agency. He writes for Forbes magazine, writes some really, really good stuff. And he says, measurement is what makes marketing a science rather than a superstition. I thought that was a very, very poignant thing that he said. So then we move over, I suppose, and say, well, what do you measure? In the industry, we call them KPIs, or Key Performance Indicators. Well, if we're going to focus on these KPIs, according to Google, there are 10 marketing KPIs, and I suppose then there are 70 examples for data-driven KPIs. Well, this one says there are 16, and then we move over to 11. We go back to 10, so 10 looks like a very popular number, and then we conclude with 8 and 5. So what I'm trying to say is that, as always, there's so much opinion, there's so much noise, there's so many different things and reasons that people are saying. We focus on these KPIs and specifically which ones. So I always like to say is, to begin with, just make sure you have clear evidence, all right? Because initially what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a response. You create an ad, you create some marketing material, you say call us, you say email us, you say download this coupon, you say cut off this brochure here, you say phone us, you say come into the shop, whatever it is, you're initially trying to get a response, which then will lead to a sale. And really the main KPI that I look at is your ROI, your return on investment. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated to begin with. Of course, if you've got a website and web pages, you want to see how many people are going there. You want to be able to see that when you say in a letter or on a brochure, go to this page and fill out your details. When you say in an advert, phone this number, you want to obviously see how many people are phoning. So that's a very simple one to do, but you just want to begin with the evidence, get the response. It can then lead to a sale, and then you have a positive ROI. You're able to look and be able to analyze it clearly. But it begins with measuring your marketing activities. And as I said, please don't overcomplicate it. You know, when we talk about measuring, just monitor. Let's use that word as well. Just see what the reaction is going to be, and then you, in turn, can decide what your next move is. Not only to be accountable, but so your marketing, your advertising, your sales, and your business ventures can all improve. Coming up next in lesson 13, this is probably my favorite topic to talk about: creativity and innovation. So I really look forward to sharing that with you, and keep going back on these videos, particularly the last 3 where we were talking about testing, tracking, and measuring.